Hello, second graders. Mrs. Miller here. We are going to be practicing counting. So on my whiteboard here, I have our objective. So it says, I can skip count by tens and hundreds on a number line to get to a bigger number. So we are going to be practicing that. So I want you to go get your whiteboard and your marker and your math book because you're going to need that at the end of this. So let's go ahead and erase this. So I'm going to draw us our number line that we are going to skip count on. So here is my big long number line. And when we skip count, we can skip count by ones, we can skip count by tens, we can skip count by hundreds. And we've been practicing that a lot lately. So at our first one we're going to start at the number 30. And we want to get all the way to the number 200. So remember, these are friendly numbers, so and they all end in 0. But what do we need to skip count at first to get to our next friendly number? So we're going to count by 10. So we're going to start at 30. We're going to make little jumps of 10 to get to 100. So I'm going to go 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's our next friendly number. So we see here, I'm going to label these as tens. So we have skip counted by tens. And now our next, we want to get to 200. So what are we going to skip count by now? We're at 100. Our next friendly group, our next way to skip count to get to our next number is by 100. So I'm going to make one big jump, 100, 200, and I'm going to label this as 100. See what I did there? See how these ones are little because they're tens? This is a big because that's 100, so it's a lot. So let's skip count again. Let's practice this one. So 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then we went 100, 200. See how we got from our smaller number to our bigger number. Okay, we're going to do another one. Are you ready? So on your whiteboard, let's do this one together. You're going to draw your big number line. Got it? This end, we're going to start at the number 70. And our big number we're going to get to is 400. So we're starting at 70, and we're going to get to 400. So we want to get 70. We need to count by what to get to our next big friendly number? We're going to count by 10. So I'm going to start at 70. We're going to count on from 70. So 70, 80, 90, 100. I'm going to label that as 100. So we use tens here. Then from 100, what are we going to skip count by from 100 to get to 400? Starting at 100, 100, 200, 300, 400. So we counted by 100s. So let's count forward again from 70. So 70, 80, 90, 100, 100, 200, 300, 400. We did it. So how many hundreds and how many tens did we use to get from 70 to 400? We used 3 100s and 3 tens. Awesome. Okay, one last one. Okay, so we're going to start at the number 120. And we're going to go to the number 500. Wow. What do we do. So our number is 120. Are we going to count by tens or are we going to count by hundreds to get to our next number? Yes, we're going to start by tens because we're at 120. So 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. I'm going to label where we're at. Now what are we going to count by from 200 to get to 500? 100s. Yes, you're right. 200, 300, 400, 500. My number line was a little bit short, but that's okay. But see how I made the big, big jump so we knew? These are hundreds. These were all tens. We had to use a lot of tens. Okay, so let's count again. Ready? 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 300, 400, 500. It's really, really important when you're doing this, you use really big jumps to represent the hundreds, because 100 is a lot. You're jumping a really big amount. And you make your tens smaller because it's not as far. And then if we were doing ones, it'd be even smaller jumps because it's not as much. So now your job is to open up your math book, and you're going to do this. You're going to practice this on page 47. So you're going to open your math book to page 47. It looks like this. And you're going to be skip counting by ones, tens, and hundreds on your number line. Okay, so math book page 47. All right, my friends. Have a good day. Thank you.